Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. It is no secret, one of the best parts of content in FC 26 has been lacking to start team of the year. And honestly, it does not make any sense for the biggest promo of the year to have evolutions that are this lame. That's the word I want to use to describe it. They're just not very hyped. The upgrades we don't get very much of. We're not going to playstyle pluses like we are in the SBCs. We aren't able to evo silver icons, 87 rated cards, or get 2 playstyle pluses again, like I mentioned. What has happened to Team of the Year Evos? We're going to try and figure that out today because surely this is not how it's going to go for the rest of Team of the Year. Of course, we do have some content from Team of the Year to discuss, like the new Team of the Year defenders and Team of the Year icons that are in packs, and we also have leaks of the 12th men and women, along with some Team of the Year honorable mentions coming into packs on Friday. We're only one day away as well from the full team being in packs. We'll have to discuss that, of course, with the market being a big part of these Team of the Year prices on this game. And we're going to look in today's content on Wednesday. If you're excited for it, guys, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's go over yesterday's content first from a Tuesday that brought a new objective live event once again. Live event number 3 for Team of the Year. This one doesn't give an 84/10 as the group reward, but it gives an 86/3 instead, with the exact same objectives here: win 6, score in 12. You get the rest done on the way there. You do have a couple of Evos inside of this one, another defensive instincts evolution, so you could get somebody up to, from 88 to 90 defending, and then give them the anticipate playstyle for a max 86 overall card there. So that's a decent little Evo. Speaking of evolutions, cosmetic Evo in here, another badge evolution, an 83/3 for the bottom objectives there, and then a couple of other packs. So sure, you know what, these live events are a bit of a grind, but personally I'm prioritizing these, like I've been saying, over rivals this week, especially with Gauntlet. I'm going to prioritize these for the rewards that you get, a little bit of Evos, decent amount of packs, and you're getting progress towards the live event completionist, which I still think gives some okay packs and a nice group reward pack of an 86/2 there as well. And I don't want to sweat in rivals, and I'm finding these live events to be a bit more enjoyable. So that's where I'm putting my time in this week. But yesterday as well, on Tuesday, we had FC Pro for the Group D. This was the last match day, I believe. All the groups are done now, and those second playstyle plus upgrades are going to be coming in pretty soon. But if you watched the stream yesterday, you got a lone Bremer, an 84/5, and the group reward of an 86x2. The number one thing that I have an issue with these FC Pro live streams for the rewards is they need to run and air rebroadcasts or like reruns of these streams so that people who aren't able to watch during the live time that it's on can get the viewership rewards as well. I wish they would do that. They've done that in the past, and they just aren't doing it for these recent FC Pro events. But since, of course, cards are getting upgraded from these events, Tonali, Ginter, and Teze are the ones moving on to the FC Pro finals. So they'll get a second playstyle plus, and they'll get some stat boost. Bremer, Savinho, and Choupo-Moting are also getting some boosts as well from those games yesterday. Some of the cards are up. I mean, honestly, guys, I really don't care too much at all about these FC Pro cards, but if you have them and you've invested, I would definitely sell into the hype of the second playstyle plus boost for most of the cards, because you can look on the card and see which playstyle plus they're going to get. Just pick the most meta one, and that's probably the one the Pro is going to choose. And for most of them, the options are not very good. Now, speaking of live cards, yesterday was a Champions League day, which means we actually have primetime upgrades coming to this game again after a long wait between the last Champions League match day. Saliba with Arsenal, he's going to go from an 88 to an 89 rated card, and Salgado is going to go up a +1 as well. Once again, make sure you look at the Footbin tracker to keep a track on these cards, because we're nearing the end of the group stage of Champions League this week, and then there's next week with the games, and we'll be at the end. So that means some of these cards are coming down to the end for potential upgrades. So what happened with Saliba was he hit 7 points or more for the club with Arsenal with their win yesterday, 3-1 over Inter. So he's going to get a +1 overall to an 88 rated card. Now, there's more games today. There's more live cards to be watching. But one thing that I want to mention, because it impacts me specifically, and maybe some of you guys too, if you did this Javi Simons Evo or any Evo of a UCL, UEFA, Europa League, or any sort of primetime player from the Europa competitions, when you Evo a live card, you're kind of throwing that card's upgrades up in the air, honestly. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. And we have a really interesting scenario here with this Javi Simons. Very popular Evo card. A lot of people have put him into the Team of the Year honorable mention, Cam Builder, which gives him 5-4, Finesse Plus. Really good card, right? This is the Evo that I did. Interesting thing to note about his upgrade path is the way Spurs are playing in Champions League, they're actually performing very well, which is contrary to how they're performing in the league. But they play Eintracht Frankfurt next week. That is their last game. And if you Evo this Javi Simons, if they score in that match, and of course, if they draw, which would get them to the 7-point margin here, he would get a +2 overall, which if you Evo'd him, he should still get the +2 overall. The stats are a bit of a question mark because we've seen live cards before get upgraded, and sometimes their stats go up, sometimes they don't. So this would be a big question mark for sure on his card here, whether or not with the stat caps that this Evo has, he would actually get a stats boost. That's up in the air. But what's really intriguing and actually potentially a bad thing is if they do finish top 8 in the league playoffs, which right now I think Spurs are like tied for 4th or 5th, somewhere in there, he would get a playstyle plus boost because his base card does not have a playstyle plus. And the reason that's bad is because whenever cards are live and they get a playstyle plus boost, it seems that the boost overrides whatever previous playstyle plus they already have. So mine has Finesse Plus. I put it on him earlier in the year from one of the first season pass Finesse Plus Evos that we had. If he does get a playstyle plus added to his card, that could wipe this one away and replace it with whatever one the upgrade gives him. And I do not love that at all. It's very unfortunate, but I just have to mention that. And maybe this is applicable to any other of the primetime cards that you guys have evolved. So that's just kind of something to watch out for in the next week with these primetime cards. Since some of them are low enough now, we've been evoing them for a number of weeks. Now, we're going to talk about Evos a lot more in the video today. But before we do, let's go look at yesterday's SBC content on Tuesday, which did give us one of our icon SBCs that we had leaked, Butra Guenyo. 4-star, 5-star, low driven, and the tech plus. He's got great playstyles. This is a great card. At least you would say it's a very good card. I think I would say great. He's got the first touch, quick step. He's got the tiki taka. He's got great stats. He can only play striker, but that's where you'd play him. And his left stick dribbling is going to be insane. But it's kind of the situation right now with the Butra Guenyo and the TOTY. We already had some good striker SBCs with the Sophia Wilson, right? We've had Olise as a center attacking mid. We've had a lot of attackers, right? We have CC who's leaked as well. When you add Butra Guenyo into this mix and when you look at his price of 1.2 million coins, you just think, well, at least I gotta wait and see what the TOTY SBC is like before I start completing this, unless Butra Guenyo is just a card that you have to have. And since it's not outrageously cheap and there's more icon SBCs incoming, I think that's why he's got an 80% downvote here in Footbin. I downvoted it because I thought, you know, for me, TOTY kind of ranks higher. I'd be more interested with a TOTY card that could play striker and cam and would have maybe the incisive over the tech playstyle plus. I mean, that's getting really nitpicky, but personally, I would love to use TOTY since he's a new icon to this game as well. And I think a lot of people are in that boat. So whether you want to do Butra or not, I think I would wait until we get the full team out in packs. We're opening more of our packs, not feeling restricted by that, only having a few of the team of the years in packs. And maybe by that time, we'll know how much the TOTY is and some of the other SBCs will be out. And you'll kind of decide which one is worth your fodder first, of course, because yeah, fodder seems a bit more endless when we have the upgrade pack grinds like this and all the upgrades out right now, but still, you got to be a little bit smart with where you're putting all of this fodder. Now, speaking of fodder, we had 2 upgrade packs yesterday that we were hoping to get good fodder from, but man, you got to turn in a lot to get the 86x2 upgrade done. Now, I'm doing this every single day, twice a day, because it's team of the year. But going from an 85x3 upgrade that was an 83 and 84 rated squad, no informs, to the same 83 and 84 rated squad with informs required on both SBCs is a huge jump in price, a very unnecessary jump in price for a pack that gives you 2 walkouts. Instead of 3 85s, which I would rather have over this, bring back the 85x3 over this all day. we now have a very expensive upgrade SBC here, which the only good thing about this is you're up in the rating +1, which doesn't seem to really change the pack luck or the pack weight at all. I did see some people tweeting me packing Team of the Years from the 86 times 2, and that's why I'm saying it is a must complete SBC every day, because if you're doing any sort of pack grind right now, you can get informs and you can get 83s and 4s very easily to get it done. It just feels like you're turning in way too much, and I don't know why EA has asked for all that fodder for that 86 by 2. Now, Team of the Weeks did benefit a little bit from this. They're only up to about 12,000 coins right now. I don't imagine they're going to go a whole lot higher than this, maybe maximum of 13K this week before probably falling back down to a lower price of 11K like they were last weekend, this weekend. So I don't think if you have Team of the Weeks invested, you would want to sell unless you're just looking for the quick flip profit to get your coins back before the full team comes out into packs tomorrow. So that's what I'd look at with Team of the Weeks. I would still hold on to those if you made a really big investment there. The other pack that we had yesterday was the 78 plus 5 of 10 player pick. Again, give me the 80 plus 4 of 10 player pick all day, every day over the 78 plus just for the higher rated guarantee cards. But that one is still worth doing with all the gold commons that you can get right now doing the pack grind. Now, of course, the biggest part of yesterday was the Team of the Year Defenders and Team of the Year Icon Team 2 coming into packs. Those icons, by the way, again, absolutely insane. Hullet, Morgan, Carlos Alberto, Maldini, and Yashin. They are all absolute W's in terms of the cards, and they're all very expensive. That was the common theme, and that's what we expected, right? There was not as many people opening packs yesterday for the Defenders or for the Icon Team 2, so a lot of these cards have started off very expensive, and a lot of them have just like been falling since they came out. Like, take a look at Alex Morgan's price from 6 million coins straight away. She's just been on a straight drop all the way down to 3 million flat where she is now, which when I look at this, I'm like, okay, that's a really big upgrade over her 91 Champions icon card, plus 4 passing, 4 physical, 5 physical, 4 defending, and then 2 pace shooting and dribbling with the 5-star weak foot, a foot bin rating of 88.5 up to 94. I know there's no finesse plus anymore, but quick step and the low driven, like 3 mil. I mean, that almost seems more believable as a price for her card there. But maybe that's just the USA and me speaking. Rude Hullet's 13 million coins, which makes the Evo version of Hullet look even better if you did a crazy version of him, because that's sure better than the Evos in terms of the stats, but like, if that card's 13 mil, base Hullet is like $1.5 million on the market. How much is our Evo Hullet worth with all the stats that we could boost up on him and give him a second playstyle plus? Maldini looks expensive, but looks very good. Carlos Alberto might be one of the best right backs in the game, and Yashin looks cracked as well. Now, for the Defenders of Team of the Year, they've also started off pretty expensive. VVD was extinct at 7 million coins. He's now 9.4 mil. I don't think these prices are going to last. I think they're going to end up dropping. And today, guys, would be a day that I'd be a little worried about the Team of the Year prices. Not just Defenders because they're in packs, but even some of the strikers. Like yesterday, we saw some big panic sells. Holland's back up to 1.9 mil plus, but yesterday he started at 2.1, went all the way to 1.7 and kind of rebounded back up. We said it a couple times over the weekend that whenever the panic would start on a couple of these cards, especially the strikers because they got packed the most, you would see a domino effect and you would see some really big price drops, and we did. And I think drops like this could happen again heading into tomorrow when the full team is released. I don't know if there's going to be big crashes today. I don't know if there's going to be crashes on Thursday before the cards get re-released in packs, but I would imagine there's some more drop off and some more prices falling on all the attackers, and I think some of the midfielders as well. This would be a good time that if you have a Pedri you bought for a 3 mil, 3.1 mil to try him out, even 3.2, try to take the cash at 3.4 just to be safe. If you pack a Team of the Year Defender, man, Nuno Mendes, best left back in the game by far, a 98.0 meta rating, but he's 7 mil. I don't think that card's worth 7 mil in my personal opinion. I don't think Koundé is worth 1.3 mil without the playstyles, of course, that you need for every right back or center back on this game, especially one that's 94 rated. Intercept and anticipate, he doesn't have either of those. This card probably is half the price over the weekend once he starts getting packed a lot. And same thing with like Donnarumma. Donnarumma, the goalkeepers are historically one of the most packable cards, but honestly, I gotta wonder, is the Koundé card as a right back going to be cheaper than Donnarumma this year? Because Donnarumma with 3 play stop pluses looks crazy. Footwork, far throw, and far reach. And then you have Koundé, who looks not as good and will probably still be decent in game, but just a bit disappointing. Then the women's team of the year as well. I think I would lump these into the exact same scenario. A lot of these cards are a lot cheaper. Williamson, great center back card for 1.5 mil. Millie Bright's only 500k. Basha looks really good for 800,000 coins as well. Lucy Bronze looks decent too. And Endler's 300,000 coins. I think all of these are going to drop in the next couple of days for sure as they all come in packs. And this Endler card, we have to mention this. This will become fodder. If you guys remember, Berger's 94 rated team of the year card from last year, she was an incredible investment while the full team of the year was in packs, because we have all these 90 rated squads right now that we have to do for these big icon SBCs. A 94 rated card like this Endler could be very, very useful in those SBCs. And last year, that Berger team of the year went down to like 90k to 100k. If that happens again this time around, and it may not, because if you take a look at fodder, of course, 91 rated cards are already 90k and 92s are 140, 150. We'll see how low Endler goes, but that could be a really good fodder investment sometime this weekend or into the early stages of next week. But just talking about the market in general, not team of the years, I do believe that prices are going to dip a bit. The only cards that may be a little bit safer would be maybe a team of the year icon from team 1, like Seeger's doing pretty good. Rooney's up a little bit in price. Could these cards keep going because they're not coming back into packs until probably Sunday? I think it is possible. We're still a bit unsure on if EA is going to keep the same calendar of cards coming in and out of packs like they always do, because Team of the Year Icon Team 2 is going out of packs on Friday at the content drop. Are they going to come back in with Team 1 and Team 2? Or is EA going to wait until Sunday to release both teams of icons in packs like they did last year? That's the big question mark. But I feel a little bit safer about those. But man, for the rest of the market, it's kind of the more of the same that we talked about in yesterday's video. You see prices that are just kind of starting to slide. The market's feeling a lot more uncertain, like kind of nervy, if you will. All we saw over the weekend was prices going up, and now it kind of feels like we've hit the peak. I do think that prices on some of these cards, out of packs, specials, really popular ones, can still go up after this weekend. If you take a look back at some historical graphs from previous years, some of the most popular cards rose up, went down a little bit when the full team was in packs, and then the second weekend, kind of into the end of team of the year, went up. So I still think there's opportunity for some of these out of pack specials to go even higher. And if you bought them at their absolute lowest point pre-team of the year, like if you bought somebody like this Valverde for 350,000 coins, would I sell him? No, absolutely not. That's a card that I would continue to hold on to. But if you bought this Valverde for like 450, I'd be like, that might go back down to like 400 lows. Just, you never know what's going to happen with content, SBCs, Evos, and all that. That might be a card you want to sell just to be a little bit safer and try to find some lower prices in the next couple of days. Also, a lot of people are going to look to buy Team of the Years in the next couple of days too. Now, the one part of the market that is very safe still is fodder, because it should be very good to sell today if you want to get out of it before tomorrow on Thursday, which kind of feels like a promo Friday once again. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, but tomorrow's a weird day. The full team of the year is coming into packs, and that means a lot of people are going to start opening almost all the safe packs that they have. Even though there's more cards coming in on a Friday, which we'll talk about today, I still think that's going to result in some of the fodder dropping, and EA's definitely going to drop some bigger store packs too. So 87s right now are about 4,000 coins. Yesterday during the day, they did hit about 4.4K. They're not going under 4,000 coins like they did each of the last couple of nights. Sunday night, Monday night. I think you can sell fodder today at a premium just to get out and to be safe before definitely a big pack spam and a pack rush is going to happen on Thursday. Now, speaking of fodder, I tweeted about this just a couple of hours ago, but you got to take a look at gold rares. Guys, if you are wanting to optimize coins and you're not wanting to do upgrade packs, sell your gold rares for 900 to 950 coins. This is crazy to me that all gold rares are selling for 900 to 950. In an upgrade pack grind that a lot of people are calling dead, with no weight, no opportunity to pack these team of the years, the gold cards are still rising. So if you have those tradable in your club, you could take advantage of that and actually make some more coins off of the situation. Or if you just have like duplicate tradable gold rares, at the very least, you could make some coins from that. Now, We haven't looked at Evos from yesterday's content yet because I wanted to have this conversation before we keep talking about all the exciting things and the things we're looking forward to in Team of the Year. Guys, yesterday's content and evolutions just brings up the question for me. What is happening with Evos? Yesterday's Evo content was a right back Evo and a left back Evo that are exactly the same, max 85, that give jockey base, fullback plus, not even fullback plus plus, and then you get long ball, first touch, wing back, and attacking wing back plus plus for playing 3 matches for a max 85 chain evolution. My goodness, what is this? Like, this is an Evo that we would have been maybe excited about a month ago, 2 months ago for a max 85 rate. Like, it's just, what is EA doing? Like, normally with content, we know we have ebbs and we have flows. We have good times and we have times where content cools off a little bit. But this has honestly been unexplainable from a Evo standpoint from Team of the Year. When you go into Team of the Year, remembering what you had last year with the Team of the Year Blueprint Evo, which arguably, I do agree, was too good and too much. Yes, it gives us fond memories of that 3 playstyle plus card that we could create through the evolution for 500,000 coins. It was a lot, granted, but like, that was insane, right? And we have not even 2 playstyle plus cards coming out of these Team of the Year Evos. Now, the Team of the Year honorable mention, center mid cam, your build your own thing, that's in a different level. That's also not as hype as last year as the center back one, in my opinion. So that's kind of its own conversation. But like the strike like Killian Evo here, like I was talking about it earlier when this Evo was leaked. If this just gave us Quick Step Plus as a second playstyle plus, make it 150k instead of 50k, maybe boost up the dribbling stat a little bit more, and we would be a lot happier about this Evo because it would actually feel like it fits the time and place on this game, right? I look at the Evos that I have right here available. I've got so many of them now. Just 2 weeks ago, I had like nothing. I was doing all the vision and the, stamina boost Evos. I still have a couple of those left. Like those were great. And some of the other chain Evos that we had that were less restrictive, I was doing like almost every Evo. And now it's like these I honestly don't care too much about because the hype with Evos has kind of been gone because we're needing a boost up. We need max 87 evolutions. We need 2 playstyle plus evolutions. Not every single one needs to give that, but at least a few do. And guys, EA has definitely not wanting us, or is definitely not wanting us to Evo these World Tour Silver Superstars anymore. That has been a common theme. People have been talking about it recently, but it's kind of confirmed now that these cards, they don't want us building up. Maybe that's a situation like they put out these Evos before the holiday break and they didn't change the requirements on them to not allow these cards in them. They come back from holiday break and they see all these Evos that people have created of Hullet, of Maradona, of Maldini, and they're like, oh no, this is not good. We got to stop this from happening. Then it just seems like that's what they've done, is like now for all the Evos that we see, we can't put any of these World Tour Silver Superstars. And it feels like if you were able to boost up one, GG's, you took advantage of it and now it's cooked. So that's frustrating in its own right, even though I think EA didn't really want us to Evo the silver cards during the course of this year anyway. Since we now can and have been doing so, it's like that's another frustrating thing of evolutions where we had it and now we don't. So here's my thought, right? Kind of a rant, I guess you could say, for my terms of a rant. Just a frustration with Evos. I think we're all feeling it. What is EA doing? Honestly, I think they just wanted to make SBCs hype first because they really have, right? We've talked about it. SBCs have been the best part of Team of the Year. The Wilson, the Marcelo, the Frimpong, the Karchawi, the Olise, literally all 6 of those SBCs right there are good. Butragueño may be the worst just because he's really expensive, but he's still a very, very good card. Like all the SBCs have been great. So Evos were way ahead of SBCs and now SBCs have caught up, but Evos have like fallen behind at the same time. I can't believe that it stays the same way for the second half of Team of the Year. Guys, I have to imagine that we're not going to see sarcastic tweets from the Pentas. I was dying when I saw this tweet yesterday, by the way. I can't imagine that it's going to stay the same through the second week of Team of the Year. Like, please, EA, maybe I'm coping too, but like, don't make it the same in the second week. We can't go through Team of the Year without a banger Evo. It doesn't have to be this good. Like, just make this 2 playstyle pluses, lower the stats a little bit. 94 rated cards at this stage of the game. That was crazy, right? let us create a 91 rated card or a 90 rated card through an Evo that won't be evoable for a while because it gets such a good boost that it won't need to be. 2 playstyle pluses, a couple stats above 90, a 5-star skills or weak foot boost depending on what position the Evo is, a good second playstyle plus, not a mid one. Like that's sort of kind of Bombazo Evo leak. We need one of those. Now, speaking of Evo leaks, I gotta think these Evos are gonna turn around. And some of the most popular Evo cards that people have been investing in and waiting to Evo have gone down in the market. And I'm not saying to go and invest, but I was like, you know what? With my coins, I'm just going to go buy a Zico. I'm going to go buy a Cruyff, and we're going to see what freaking happens, man. Maybe Cruyff goes to 450K before he fits an Evo and goes up. Maybe the Evos absolutely turn up in the next couple of days, in the next week, and this card goes up 100K. Or the same thing with Zico, right? Because all it takes is one leak, and those cards are going to go to the moon. So I say that, and I show you that I bought those 2 cards, not to just make you want to go buy those 2. I would go look around the rest of the market. Look at other 87 rated cards because that's where we want to go. And there's a lot of 87 rateds that people probably haven't invested in for Evos because they're too expensive, granted. But if we were to get an Evo that would fit some of them, like that Murillo card right there, they would absolutely fly. So just look around the market, start thinking about investing in 87 rated Evo cards because I think there's going to be that opportunity again soon. All it takes is one Evo leak, and you see those cards start to move up. That's just kind of putting that on your radar there. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are about Evos right now. They need to get better. And it's kind of, you know, just unexplainable how bad they have been so far during Team of the Year. Now, last thing to discuss is the content today on Wednesday and a couple of the leaks that we have. Now, real quickly, we want to cover the 12th men and women. It is confirmed Graham Hansen is the 12th woman for Team of the Year. These are not official stats. These are predicted cards, by the way. She won the vote along with Rafinha. I don't think I'm surprised by either of these two winning for the 12th man or 12th woman because they were the best gold cards in the player pick. What did we say when the player pick came out, right? When EA gives us a player pick of cards that we can use on loan for unlimited games, people take the most meta card in the player pick because they get to use that player. Now, granted, both of these are deserving players 100%. I was hoping Kane would win. I thought Lamine Yamal had a good chance as well, but with Rafinha's card being the most meta out of all those, he is the one that has won the award, and it is deserved, don't get me wrong. But we do have news about Harry Kane and Lamine Yamal because this is allegedly the men's Team of the Year honorable mentions team, along with a couple of women here as well, that are going to be released in packs on Friday. Once again, these are cards that will be in packs on Friday alongside of Graham Hansen and Rafinha. That's the expectation. After the full Team of the Year goes in packs tomorrow on Thursday, Salah, Lamine Yamal, Harry Kane, Diani, Guijaro, Marquinhos Diaz, Raya, Pacho, Dumfries, and Gehi. So some of the leaks that we looked at yesterday, and we're adding a few names into it now with the Lamine and the Harry Kane. I'd have to imagine that as it's predicted here, Salah, Lamine Yamal, and Harry Kane would be towards the highest rated of this group. And we were looking at some of the honorable mentions last year. If you guys are like, Nate, what is an honorable mention going to be in terms of rating? Will they have 2 play style pluses? I think some of the best ones will have 2 play style pluses, but not all of them. That's one thing we should see. Some of the low rated ones like the Gehi, the Dumfries potentially could have 1 play style plus. But there will be a handful of like 92, 93, 94 rated cards, and probably the rest will be around like the 89 to 90 to 91 range. So that's kind of what to expect with Team of the Year honorable mentions. I'm sure there'll be more leaks about who is coming with official stats and how they're going to be dropped and all that sort of stuff in the game very soon. So watch out for the leaks there. Now let's talk about today's specific day of content on Wednesday, where honestly, we're not looking like it's going to be a crazy day today, but we could have another flashback SBC. Of course, with our list of SBCs that is still leaked, we have Gabriel and we have Lavelle. Those are the two that have not been released yet. And Lavelle has 2 playstyle pluses, which could be good. Gabriel does not. I think his card could have been a bit better, to be completely honest. Those are official stats for both of those players there, though. I think either of those two could be today. But also, remember, we just had the Delict that was leaked as well. And like we've been saying, so many attacker SBCs, right? Even for some of the ones that are still incoming, like TOTY and CC, a lot of attackers. Here's a defender SBC that if the stats are good and if the price is right, could actually move some cards. So if it's leaked that we're either going to get Gabriel or Delict, like say today, or maybe that's going to be in the next couple of days, whenever we figure out that we're getting one of those center back SBCs, since those are two pretty big name players that would have a lot of hype, especially Prem Links, I'd be very careful for a card like this or some of your other middle tier, like 500k and below center backs. Maybe a card like Vidic wouldn't be hurt that much, although he is down, as we've been talking about. The market has dropped. Like, he's 1.39. I bought this card 2 days ago for 142, sold it for almost 1.6 mil. He's now 1.4 mil, and he's not really going up from there. He's just kind of staying there. So that's not a card that I think would tank unless the SBC for either of those two looks crazy or it's ridiculously cheap, especially the Delict. But just something to kind of be cognizant about is that center backs could drop a bit if the Delict drops or if the Gabriel drops, and either of those is very good. So watch out for leaks before content today, because we'll probably learn about which player is dropping via SBC. Another card would be like Lacroix or Ibanez from Winter Wildcards. I'd be very, very careful with those cards there. The last thing to mention for today, because we really don't have an Evo leak except for that goalkeeper one, which I guess maybe the goalkeeper Evo leak that we saw a couple days ago, maybe that was like the Deflector Plus. Maybe that's what that one was. But just watch out for Evo leaks, because those usually get put out pretty early in the day. The last thing to mention, as I'm still here looking at this Deflector Plus, because now I'm wondering if that was that Evo that the Foot Agent talked about for a max 80. No, this one's max 86. So this one's max 86 goalkeeper. And he said in that other tweet that Mike Maignan fits. So unless I've missed it and there's another Evo reward type Evo that fits goalkeepers, I don't think we've seen that one yet. So that's still out there. Be careful with some of your cheaper goalkeepers. But on Wednesdays, we always get new campaign picks, guys. And if you're doing the upgrade pack grind, which we, of course, laid out very well in yesterday's video, how to do that, this player pick is one that you're going to want to do every single day when it refreshes, or every other day, however often it does, because you're going to have an abundance of 83s and 84s. And when you have an abundance of 83s and 4s, this is a perfect pick to do. Sure, you need an 86 rated squad for it as well, but if it refreshes today, that'd be a great one to craft into with your extra fodder. Also, make sure you're hitting Team of the Week upgrades. You can never have too many Team of the Weeks. So if you're doing the upgrade pack grind right now, make sure you hit those. And of course, hit all of your dailies. Maybe even do like a base icon pick. But still, I'd be chasing after the player SBCs over sort of the gamble SBCs, if you will, unless nothing in the player SBC categories interest you. But again, guys, this is what I'm doing for the upgrade pack grind. I have 76 of these 78 by 3 packs. And I started the day on stream yesterday with like 70 premium Premier League. And I had like, oh man, how many of these did I had? I think I had like 80. I was up to 90 something 78 by 3s at one point, because as you're doing these, of course, when your storage gets full, you're going and you're crafting the Winter Wildcards, crafting 78 by 3s. Then you're opening those. You're like, wait, I have rares. So you're going and building more premiums. It is an amazing grind still. I know the pack weights, this, that, and the other. We're waiting for the full team to come out to really see how it feels for an upgrade pack grind. But it is very good for just rinsing and repeating and opening pack after pack and getting so much fodder that you can just do SBCs upon SBCs. Last thing to mention, as I kind of thought about this here, since we're in the store, there was a 30 coin pack, a 10 coin pack, and a 2,500 coin, I think it's 2.5k pack player pick in the store yesterday. So make sure you do those. But I want to look at the pack percentages for the team of their defenders. Now, I spent 600k yesterday on 3 of the defender-specific packs, which obviously is not here anymore because I opened them. It was 200,000 coins. But one thing to note is that there was a 2.5 or 2.4% chance, I believe, of packing a team of the year in that specific defender-only pack. That is a good sign that more team of the years came into packs and EA did not throttle the odds. The odds went up. It was 1.5% on the step ahead pack for the midfielders, and I think it was like 1.3% on the midfielder only pack, 2.5% for the defender only pack. So that is a very good sign to see that they're not throttling the odds yet. We're going to keep a close eye on the store today, though, heading into tomorrow with the full team coming out to see if EA do anything shady with that. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. Let me know what you're feeling about Evos down below in the comments. I think they got to turn up. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And if that happens, you know, team of the year could make a comeback. If we have the 82-20 next week, that could make a comeback for the menus as well. Maybe it is a bit of a copy pasta in terms of the SBC content, but the Evos are very different from last year in FC 25 and something that's got to turn up there. But that's the video for me today, guys. Make sure you come by the stream. We'll be live around content today, looking at the new stuff, doing the upgrades, and getting some objectives done, and stocking some more packs for the full team of the year tomorrow on Thursday. It's been TheFutAccountant. If you enjoyed this one, drop a thumbs up on it as well. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys in the stream today. Peace out.